Gosh damn, Square Enix, you are on fire as of late. And as a fan of Square Enix, as a fan of the Final Fantasy series, this announcement could not make me happier. Dissidia Final Fantasy is coming to the PlayStation 4. Yes, you heard me correct. Final Fantasy fans can rejoice. We are getting another series in the Dissidia franchise, as well as another excuse to pit our favorite Final Fantasy heroes and villains against each other, this time in full HD on the power of the PlayStation 4. Now let's talk what I kind of want to expect from... Let's talk a little bit about the announcement trailer, actually, first, starting off. The announcement trailer did show us some very awesome looking environments. Like, they are going full out with the graphics. The battles look very much the same like they did with Dissidia. We can expect to have that same type of look. It does look like they are allowing us to have 2 or more party members or people in battle at one time, kind of copying some of that thing that Marvel vs. Capcom has done, which I am completely cool with. This is a welcome feature. We also do look like we are getting more characters added to the roster. There were a few other characters that looked like they were from Final Fantasy XIV, some other characters from different Final Fantasies that I was okay with. One of the biggest characters that stood out to me was Ace from Final Fantasy Type 0. Now, I feel like they could really incorporate an awesome fighting style around Ace, and this is something that I want Square Enix to improve upon. One of the other things I realized is the summons look more expansive. If anybody played Dissidia, you know that the summons were pretty much held to just nothing more than a picture that popped up on the screen. And again, this was on the PSP. The PSP did have hardware limitations, so Square Enix could not go all out in creating some of these summons and graphic things like that. They did have hinders that they could only do on the PSP, because the PSP, though it was attainable of getting some great graphics, it didn't have even the power that the PlayStation 2 had. So we kind of got what Square Enix could deliver at the time. But this trailer has me excited as hell, and it was just kind of focused a little bit on, like these 2 people kind of fighting, calling up on the warriors, and then it just solely went straight on to focusing on the Final Fantasy characters pitted against battle and kind of what we could expect. Now, as a fan of both Dissidia and Final Fantasy, the one thing I want to see Square Enix do more than anything is continue giving us more fan service, because that's what Dissidia did best. The fan service in Dissidia and Dissidia Duodecim was flat out insane. I absolutely thought that the outfits that they gave us, the different things, it worked so well. And any Final Fantasy fan who's played them would recognize some of these character designs. Even those who jumped into the Kingdom Hearts series could recognize that Cloud did have a full attire of his Kingdom Hearts outfit in Kingdom Hearts. Now, another thing that I want Square Enix to focus on as well is the roster. I am okay with having the main characters, having those characters come back. I wouldn't have it any other way. But I want Square Enix to focus more on some of the other party members for Final Fantasy as well. Because Final Fantasy has some amazing characters that I would like to see brought to the roster. Vincent being one. Vincent, I would love to see Vincent come along. That's another character they could adapt a very unique fighting style around. Especially almost given that they could go more of a Dirge of Cerberus approach to some of his chaos design and things like that, and incorporate some of that in there. That would be sweet as well. I would be excited to see Snow from Final Fantasy XIII. I don't care what anybody says about Snow. I thought Snow was a really awesome character. I want to see Edgar from Final Fantasy VI. I want to see some more of these other characters that have not made it in there, and not so much focus just on the main cast of characters. I would also like to see some other minor villains brought in from over the Final Fantasy franchise as well, and not just strictly base all of the bad guys on the main villains as well. Another thing I want Square Enix to do is focus more on also giving us some more levels. I want Final Fantasy is known for having expansive, amazing worlds to explore. So why we're just, and again, PSP limitations, but why would we just have to be stuck to, on the PlayStation 4, just one world per, or one level per game would be kind of weird. I feel like in a way they could incorporate some really awesome design choices and bring to life some of these iconic places in the Final Fantasy franchise and let us fight battles in there. I think that would be really, really cool to do as well. It said Ace from Final Fantasy Type 0 HD made it in there. I didn't see Noctis in the trailer, but I feel like Noctis could have his very own unique fighting style as well and really be incorporated into Dissidia as well. And if Noctis is not in there as an original character in the roster, I could only imagine at one point we're probably going to get him as DLC. And I'm completely okay with shelling out cash for some additional DLC as long as Square Enix can continue to keep up the quality that we can expect from this game. And, you know, give us quality DLC and not make it feel rushed and shit like that. The last thing that I want to cover that I want to see, the last couple things I want to cover that I want to see Duodecim do is, for one, its soundtrack. Remix more Final Fantasy themes. Remix those soundtracks and give us something great. Give us the option to hear give us the option to switch in the menu to hear the original versions of these songs as well as we go through the game. That would be really, really cool as well. Final Fantasy has always been known for having some really great soundtracks, so this would be a welcome feature for me to hear both remixed versions as well as the original, if Square Enix could potentially do that. And the last thing that I want to talk about, and again, this was PSP limitation hardware, so it's not really a complaint, but we did get a little bit of a field introduced in Dissidia Duodecim. And then we had those chess pieces that we kind of moved around and things like that. I want to see Square Enix kind of do away with those and go like full on 3D. Give us something a little bit different, something a little bit better. Focus on that story a little bit more and make the story really great this time as well. You know, we don't have the PSP limitations at this point. We have the PlayStation 4, very powerful system. You know, let's go all out in creating this experience. I also wouldn't mind seeing Ramza. Ramza or Delita from Final Fantasy Tactics would be welcome into the franchise as well. So thoughts, opinions, leave those down below in the comment box. As a Final Fantasy fan, I could not be more stoked to hear this news. As one who enjoyed Dissidia and wanted it to come on the PlayStation 4, feeling like it would be more at home on consoles, to get this announcement just made me all excited as hell. And I can't wait to hear further information. Maybe E3 is going to bring us a little bit. It has been slated to be released 2018, early 2018. That is not for sure if that's just the Japanese release date, if that's a worldwide, or if that is the North American release date. At this point, we do not know. But regardless to say, we are getting it. I will leave that trailer down below in the link so you guys can check it out. Be sure to hit subscribe there for me. New content will come your way. You guys have been watching The Spoony Bard, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. The Spoony Bard is checking out.